Namaste. So let's begin with the small Omkara, okay? Om. So this is our third session. First session we learnt about Arjuna Vishada Yoga. So our learning was we have to be ready to fight any situation, and life is full of choices. We have to make the choices. The second adhyaya was Sankhya Yoga. We learnt about knowledge, we learnt about action, we learnt about Samabuddhi, and we learnt about Sthita Pragya Vyakti. We learnt about how temptation, anger, Buddhi Nasha, Buddhi Bhrama, all that happens because of the Asakti. All this we learnt in Sankhya Yoga. Now the third chapter is Karma Yoga. So how it begins? Now when Arjuna hears a knowledge from Sri Krishna about the Atma, the Sharir, and he also learns about the Karma Yoga, the introduction, he is confused. So he says, Arjuna, tell me one thing, whether Gyan or it is action. So this is a very tricky question for Sri Krishna. But he does give the answer, but not in a single line or a direct pinpointing answer. But he opens up another door of knowledge. So that is a Karma Yoga. So what Krishna says is only knowledge is not enough. It's not of use. Only action, not enough, not of use. Because if you have a lot of knowledge, but if you don't take action, what's the use of it, right? And if you don't know anything, you don't have any information, if you don't know how to do things and you take an action, it may not give you the same result, or it may not be useful, it can be harmful also. So knowledge and action are twofold nishthas. So they go hand in hand. They are very important and they always be with each other. So that's one part he says. And then the discussion goes on and he says the action, when people take action, how this action should be. So he gives example, Arjuna, you are a great Yodha. Now you are giving up and you are saying, I am not going to fight the war. But look, so many people are looking at you as a great Yodha. If you do this, what the other people who are looking at you will do in their life. So he gives another, insight. He says, Yadhyadacharati Shrestha Statta Deve Taro Janaha Sayat Pramanam Kurute Lokas Tadanu Vartate. What does it mean is the people who are in important positions, the people who are in an influencing position, for example parents, for example teachers, for example the social leaders, political leaders or corporate leaders or managers. These people are in responsible positions. So people are looking at them. They are trying to imbibe something from them. Such people need to be aware of their responsibility. The way they should conduct themselves should be in a very responsible manner. This is what this shloka says, and it is applicable in all walks of life. The next concept he brings is your action should be in such a way that you should get involved thoroughly, you should work passionately, but at the same time you should have detachment. It is very easy to say, but it is very difficult to practice. But once you practice it, your life becomes very, very easy. A simple example, if you are working on a project and you are so involved in it and so engrossed in it, and tomorrow something happened and that project gets shelved for some XYZ reason, it should not happen that you really feel sunk and you feel so emotionally charged, you feel so sad about it. You should get involved, but you should detach. If you are detached from it, you will not emotionally get affected even if this project is there or if it is not there. So it is applicable to many more things in our life. Another thing what he says, this action, the origin of action should not be out of anger or hatred, because the moment we feel angry and we take action, this action probably we can make a mistake. Simple example, in office, something goes wrong and we are really, really angry and we really want to, in the frustration we write a mail. We write a mail to people who are involved, we write a mail people who are not involved, we CC to so many people. And in that moment we just take out our anger and frustration. Does it really help? Whoever receives the email, that person feels, oh, he doesn't get what needs to be done, but he gets the information that this person is very, very angry. It's of no use. It is not giving any value. It's not adding any value. So any action originated out of anger has no value. So First, don't get angry, which is not possible. So even if you get angry, let the anger get subside and then take the action. So this is something Krishna has, taught us. And then, of course, no action should be originated out of hate. That we all know. Now, another concept which Sri Krishna brings in is a body, mind, intellect, and our soul. So, soul, I would call it as a Atma Shakti, so our inner power. So, what he says is body is important because we live through this body. In this form, we are able to move around. But our mind, our emotions are even more important than that, because these emotions have a very deeper impact on our body, right? So we are stressed, our heart rate goes up. So this is what it is. The intellect is even more important than the mind because it helps us to make choices. It helps us to differentiate things from good or bad. So our buddhi, intellect, is very important. And beyond that and above that is the Atma Shakti. Atma Shakti is our soul. So this power what we have, this is very important because it is controlling everything. It's like a fuel. It's running our body, it's running our mind, it's running everything. So we need to eat a breakfast to get the energy, because if we don't eat the breakfast or if we don't eat properly, we can't think and we get angry and we keep yelling at everybody. Next adhyaya is a Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga. Now how come this sannyasa word came here? Because there is a jnana, there is a karma, so it's action, and sannyasa is renouncing everything and going into jungle. That is what we know. But when Krishna says sannyasa, why he says sannyasa? So let us see why he says sannyasa. So in the beginning of the chapter, Shri Krishna says this is the oldest of the yoga, and which this yoga I told to Surya Devata. The moment he says that, Arjuna asks him, how is this possible? Surya Devata was born in far centuries before, and we are in this century, because Arjuna doesn't know that Shri Krishna is a divine soul and he treats him is just like his friend. So he thinks this is my friend, and how he is talking about Surya Devata and all. So Krishna laughs and says that I was born many centuries ago also, and I am going to get rebirth even in future. So to give him that assurance that I will be taking few more births in upcoming years, whenever this earth would need me, he says, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bharata abhyudhanam adharmasya tadatmanam sujamyaham paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya ch dushrutam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So this is what he gives a great promise to not only Arjuna but to the entire Bharatavarsha, I would say. So how this adhyaya concludes? So Krishna says that all actions we take, finally they translate into knowledge. See, in our work also, we build water treatment plants, right? So all what we are doing on site, finally it becomes a knowledge, and that knowledge we use for the another project. So every action what we take throughout the day, it some or the other knowledge it gets translated into, and it gets accumulated as an information in our brain. So all actions finally translate into knowledge. So he says, Jnana Yajna is the Shrestha Yajna. He is not saying that Jnana is the only thing, but he is saying the quest for knowledge is the best thing to do in our life. So you should have that curiosity to know the things. The third adhyaya is a Karma Sannyasa Yoga. So in Karma Sannyasa Yoga, the beginning itself, Shri Arjuna is not still satisfied. He still has doubt, and he says, I am still not getting whether Jnana Yajna is better or Karma Yoga is better. Jnana Yoga is better or Karma Yoga is better. This question is repeatedly he is asking. Now Shri Krishna says that Jnana and Karma, knowledge and action, both are equally important, but Karma Yoga is something which is easy to adopt, easy to practice for ordinary people. This is what he gives the directive. He says, do your karma with passion, but do it like a sannyasi. So sannyasi renounces everything. He just goes in jungle and he is not interested in materialistic world. So the way when you are doing your karma, the result or the reward, don't keep thinking about it. Do it like a sannyasi. So that is where this karma sannyasa yoga word has come. Then he further talks about the right action and wrong action. So right action he calls as a ayukta, and right action is a yukta action. And how do you do that? How do you take a right action? All this philosophy is good to talk about, but is there any real way to adopt it, real way to understand how to do it? So Krishna says, Karlo man mutti mein. So what it means is control your mind. And how do you control your mind? So next chapter, Atma Sanyam Yoga, Shri Krishna step by step narrates the procedure of meditation, and that is how he says how you can control your mind. So it's not that Krishna gives a just gyan, but he also has given you how part of it, how you can do it. So let's, in the next chapter, let us understand how we can control our mind through meditation. So there are few introspective questions again I have come up with, and I would really request you to write the answers of those questions. So what is your passion? What is according to you is the purpose of your life? Please do write about it. Second question is, what are the 3 activities you used to like before but you don't do them anymore and still you want to pick up them and give them a chance? Do you want to pursue them again? This is the second question. Now third question is, have you seen Karma Yogi in your family, friend or colleagues? Write, recall 5 observations about them. So I'm sure you must have seen some Karma Yogis. Our mother is our Karma Yogi. There are so many people in our office who actually breathe, eat, drink, work. They don't know anything beyond COD, BOD, water, wastewater. They just are consumed with the work. So these are the Karma Yogis are around us. Just think about them and try remembering their qualities, or you yourself can be a Karma Yogi. What are the 3 topics closest to your heart about which you always wanted to know everything? So do you want to develop that knowledge further? Just find out, because as Krishna said, Jnana Yajna is the Shrestha Yajna. So what is the Jnana Yajna you would like to do in your life? What is that one thing you want to go behind and know everything about it? Which is the one greatest work you have done in your life selflessly, which you are extremely proud of? So it's all about the work we did, the knowledge and work part of our life, which I am requesting you to introspect and write for yourself to build your own story. So thank you very much, and whatever I said so far is dedicated to Krishna. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.